Hello, I'm Margaret from Blue Monkey Tea Company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And today I want to tell you about Yerba Mate. Yerba Mate herb is very interesting. It has a long tradition, quite a bit of history, and it's considered elixir of life, a gift from gods, and friendship maker. And let me tell you today why. When I first opened my shop, which was many years ago, in 2002, I didn't know what yerba mate was. Eventually, I started getting some people from South America, some customers or people who would travel to South America, and they were talking about this great herb called yerba mate. And I sure did order some, and I started selling it too. And also they were telling me about this very special way of drinking yerba mate using a gourd and a bombilla straw. As time went on, we had more and more customers buying, looking for yerba mate, because yerba mate becomes more and more popular, not only in the US, but also around the world. And one of the main reasons is that yerba mate has quite a bit of caffeine in it, and the caffeine in yerba mate doesn't cause side effects like jitteriness or anxiety. So there's more and more people looking, drinking mate as an alternative to coffee as well. Today I want to talk about the yerba mate plant, about history, harvesting, processing. Then we're going to talk about how to prepare yerba mate, some nice recipes for yerba mate, and a little bit about caffeine and health benefits of yerba mate. So let's start with the yerba mate plant. Yerba mate, otherwise called Ilex paraguayensis, is an evergreen bush but can also grow into a tree. However, usually it's trimmed at about 10 feet for easier harvesting. The branches are usually harvested between April and October, and this particular plant likes to grow in tropical and subtropical climate in South American countries such as Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Paraguay. This plant has been actually discovered a long time ago by Guarani tribes in South America. They discovered that this particular herb was not only giving them energy, but also was curbing their appetite, diminished feeling of hunger, and a lot of these folks were gone for many days without much food, so that was pretty helpful. At the end of the 16th century, when Spaniards colonized South America, they also noticed the benefits of yerba mate and became interested in drinking it. Jesuits in the end of the 16th century even started cultivating yerba mate because they noticed that yerba mate was actually much better beverage option for folks than alcohol. In 18th century, almost every household in Brazil and other South American countries was familiar with yerba mate, and in Buenos Aires they even had a special servant who was in charge of just brewing yerba mate. Gauchos, the South American cowboys, they loved and they still love yerba mate because it helps them, endure those long journeys and hard work. And these days, everybody drinks yerba mate. Footballers, which we call soccer players here, Pope Francis, students, people who work long hours on a computer because yerba mate helps with focus and keeps people awake, but at the same time, like I said, doesn't give side effects like regular coffee. Even Stephen King was caught holding the mate gourd and bombilla, as you see on this picture. There's also a custom in South American countries of drinking yerba mate in a circle by sharing a gourd with bombilla, sharing between the group. Usually it's a pretty intimate event of maybe 5 people or less. And a person who is responsible for brewing and serving is called cebador. When you say gracias, thank you, that means you had enough. You no longer want to drink. Also, I'll give you one tip. You're not supposed to, when you're sitting in a circle, you're not supposed to really touch bombilla nor stare with this. It's considered very impolite. It's definitely a way of making friends, and yerba mate is a thought and conversation catalyst in this unifying ritual. Okay, let's go back to the plant and harvesting. So once the branches are cut off either with machetes or with some more sophisticated machinery these days, they undergo a stage of heating with a very, very high temperature for a very short period of time. Usually it's about 20-30 seconds. Sometimes it's done in an old-fashioned way, just by waving branches over the open flames. But generally it's done in a more industrial way, in heated cylinders, rotating cylinders. This stage is called secado. And the next stage is also heating, but with lower temperature over extended period of time, about 12 to 24 hours. And it's called secado. If I said secado before, I'm sorry, that was wrong. The first stage is called sapicado, and the second stage, heating with a lower temperature, is called secado. I apologize. Then leaves are coarsely crushed and packaged in big bags for storage. The storage is meant to cure yerba mate over a period of a year, sometimes 2 years, in a special controlled environment, to give mate specific flavor, aroma, color. And eventually after that stage, yerba mate is ground finer into smaller particles, but not too small. And how do we make yerba mate? So, of course, the most traditional way, the coolest way, is using mate gourd and bombilla. You can also make yerba mate in a French press. You can steep it like a regular tea with a tea ball or basket infuser. Or you can make it in a regular coffee maker, or pretty much any other coffee maker, for example, stovetop espresso maker or electric espresso maker. Mate gourd is made of a calabash fruit that was hollowed, and usually it's finished with a metal rim. They can also be pretty ornate with some design carved in it, or sometimes they may have like a little brace over it, or a leather pouch. Mate gourds, cups, can be also made of wood, ceramic, metal. Now these days they also make them from silicone. And this particular picture is showing you all these beautiful mate cups out there. Bombilla, and you can see on the slide, how do we spell it? It's usually made of metal, as you see here. It's a metal straw with a bulb at the end, little holes that serve as a strainer. It could also be made of bamboo cane. How to use mate gourd? How do we make mate in this gourd? It's really simple. So first you fill this up with yerba mate about halfway, and then you do the shake. I'm gonna take this out. Just pretend it's still dry. You do the shake, and what it does, it will move the smaller, finer particles to the surface, and also it's going to help to move yerba mate to one side of the gourd. And this is pretty important to keep one side clear where you pour water and from which side you drink. Because if you put your bombilla right inside this mountain of mate, then it's not going to work. It's just going to clog up. So you create a little space here, a drinking space on one side. And to show you this in better view, I actually made a little mountain here in a glass cup. Of course, this probably wouldn't be a cup to drink yerba mate, but it shows you what that inside of the gourd looks like with mate in it. So this is where first you put a little bit of cold water, let the mate swell a little bit, soak up for about 1 minute. That will make it a little more pliable so you can work with this inside, and you push it onto the side. Sometimes you make even like a little cave in the bottom. Then you add hot, not very hot, sub-hot water of temperature about 180 degrees. And you drink. Once you finish, you keep adding more water and keep sipping. And then once there's no flavor left, you move your mountain from one side to another. And this way you generate like a fresh pile of yerba mate. So once you finish sipping on this side, you move everything onto the other side and keep adding water to this side for a change. And usually you try to sip slowly and take your time. I'd say finish your mate within an hour or two. There's no rush. It's a very mindful experience. Okay, so this is our mate gourd and bombilla way. The other, while I'm speaking about this, let me tell you how to cure the gourd. It's a really good idea to cure your gourd before first use. Curing is done to seal the cracks and to season your gourd properly. And gourd like this can serve you well for many years, but the key is to cure it well. And curing is very simple. You basically add half a cup of green yerba mate, fill it up with sub-hot water, 180 degrees, and let it sit in a room temperature for about 12 hours. Then you remove the mate, rinse your cup, and add another portion of mate, half full, fill it up with sub-hot water, let it sit for next 12 hours, then empty, rinse it out really well, and let it dry. So this process, like I said, will help seal all the little microscopic or bigger cracks in your mate. Be very careful though not to scrape off. There's like a little knot here at the bottom and it kind of sticks up inside. Make sure you don't scrape that off because basically you're going to puncture your cup. And also when you first buy these, they have quite a bit of fibers inside. And no worries, you will be able to remove these fibers gradually by scraping them after each use, gently. Eventually also, the inside of your gourd will become darker and sometimes almost black. and it's usually not a malt. It's basically a oxidized plant matter inside. But if the gourd inside is supposed to be dark and smooth. That was the whole Mate University, Mate Gourd University. Okay, we're done with that. When you, after each use later on, you rinse it really well and just dry it completely, air dried. Don't put it in the microwave, don't put it in the oven, do not boil it in water, hot water. Just rinse it really well. If there's any fibers left, or even you could scrape it a little bit, but not too much, either with the bombilla or you can scrape it with a spoon. And then air dry it really, really well. Do not use it until it's totally, completely dry. And let's talk a little bit about other ways of mate preparation. One of the very easy ways is to prepare yerba mate by using a French press. This French press has capacity of about 34 ounces, or roughly about 1 quart. And the recommended amount of yerba mate is 1 teaspoon, something like this, per 6 ounces. So if this French press has capacity of about 34 ounces, that makes about 5-6 of these. I already have some in. So for those who don't know how French press works, we're going to add water. Like I said, the temperature should be only about 180 degrees. And here comes, I just want to tell you guys, it's really, really good idea to have electric kettle, especially with the temperature control like this one. If you are tea drinkers, you definitely need one of those. It's a great idea to have it. Okay, so let's steep it for about 5 minutes. That's about how long we steep yerba mate. And in the meantime, I will be showing you how to prepare yerba mate just by using a regular tea bowl. So the recommended amount is about 2 teaspoons, because this holds about 2 so-called cups. 1 mug is about 12 to 14 ounces of water. So let's place 2 teaspoons of yerba mate in the infuser. Make sure there's no leaves outside. And let's pour some water. And it's already getting this wonderful, vivid, vibrant green color, which I absolutely love. People who drink a lot of yerba mate with the gourd, using the gourd, they usually carry a thermos with hot water. It's a really good idea to have one of those. So you just add some water and keep sipping. So here is our other 2 ways of preparing yerba mate. You could also make iced yerba mate, just like iced tea. Or you, like I said before, you can use other just regular coffee makers. People who use yerba mate instead of coffee, they like smoked mate, or otherwise called roasted mate, which is darker. Also, you can drink mate in tea bags if you really have to. We have some of those. It's from Eco Teas, and they are organic. We have unsmoked, and then we have one that's smoked and it also has tulsi and peppermint. And another company that has mate in tea bags is Republic of Tea. However, nothing tastes as good as loose leaf yerba mate. Trust me. Okay, let's talk a little bit about types of yerba mate. Right here in front of me, I have green mate, which is unoxidized, and this is smoked or roasted mate. And the green mate will have almost taste like green tea, but a little more earthy, herbaceous, and slightly bitter. Roasted mate will be more mellow. Will also have toasty notes, toasty sort of chicory notes. My personal favorite is pure green mate, this one here. And then there are flavored mates. There's a world of flavored mates. And one of them is mocha nut mate that we have in stock. It's very popular. It has chocolatey, nutty flavor. It's really yummy, and it goes well with cream and sugar. We also sell Study Buddy. That's also a nice blend, and its name indicates it helps students to study. It has apples, hibiscus, some other ingredients. And this is our own blend. It's called Yerba Mate Brisk and Bright Yerba Mate. And it has a lot of citrus flavor. It also has a little bit of spearmint. It's lavender, orange peel, apple, hibiscus. It's very, very nice. So these are options for people who don't necessarily care for original mate flavor, which actually takes time to get used to. And so these flavored mate options are great for those. I think we have steeped this enough. So once it's done, it's a good idea to, you can pull the plunger up a few times, push it down, and finally you push it all the way down slowly. And as you see, it holds leaves very nicely at the bottom. Let's have some. This is my regular tea type infused yerba mate. This one is a little darker. Basically, if you have yerba mate floating freely, or any tea that's floating freely in water, you always get a little stronger infusion than if you were using a tea ball, for example. Okay, let's try this. I'm always amazed because it doesn't taste like anything else. And this one is absolutely not bitter at all. It has like a flavor of sweet grass, like literally if you were, sometimes you were in surrounded by like freshly cut grass. It has this wonderful aroma, and this sort of translates into the taste of this. Marvelous. And this will be a little stronger. It's still pretty mellow, but it does have those herbaceous notes definitely pronounced. Both are lovely. I love them. Okay, bear with me. Some yerba mate, processed yerba mate, comes with stems and some without. The one with stems, it's called con palos, and the one without is called sin palos. And there usually is a special ratio of leaves to stems, depending on the sort of yerba mate. But stems are not bad. There's actually people who love to have some stems in the mate because it gives it like a additional, more complex flavor profile. There's some other mate recipes. For example, mate terere is a mate made with cold water with added juice. Usually it's orange or grapefruit or lemon. It could be some pulp. Sometimes you can make mate just with the juice as well. It makes it very, very pleasurable. You can make mate latte. You can make latte cappuccino, which I would probably call matecino. And of course, you can blend your yerba mate with anything else that you like peppermint, lavender, ginger, licorice, or for that matter, any other tea that you prefer, and make your mate more interesting. But first, try pure mate, not blended with anything. You might actually really like it. Okay, let's talk about caffeine in yerba mate, because this is why yerba mate is so popular. Apparently, caffeine content is pretty high, but not as high as in coffee. Yerba mate has approximately 60 to 70% of the caffeine content comparing to coffee. 1 cup of coffee, 1 8-ounce cup of coffee has approximately 120 milligrams of caffeine, while yerba mate has approximately 70 to 80 milligrams. Just a reminder, a cup of tea has approximately about 40 milligrams of caffeine. Matein is a term used to describe 3 components of yerba mate: caffeine, theophylline, and theobromine. And the combined effect of these 3 ingredients on the human body is different than effect of just caffeine. In a way that it gives us a energy boost, but also creates a feeling of sort of like mindful alertness, focused alertness, and it doesn't cause side effects like jitters or anxiety or insomnia. Also, yerba mate has less acidic pH of 6 to 7 than coffee, which has a pH of approximately 4.75. And therefore, it's much easier on the stomach, especially for people with acid reflux. Now, other healthy ingredients in yerba mate are antioxidants, quite a lot of those, mostly polyphenols, just like in green tea, and also coffee oil derivatives. These are the antioxidants in yerba mate. There's also saponins, which are anti-inflammatory, and they give yerba mate that specific slightly bitter flavor. And also, they cause a foam. Like when you brew mate, there's like a little bit of foam on the top. That's because of that saponin content. Other ingredients, they're good for us. A bunch of vitamins: A, C, E, B1, B2, B3, B5, as well as minerals such as calcium, magnesium, zinc, phosphorus, manganese, selenium. And yerba mate also contains a lot of good amino acids. In fact, it contains 7 of the essential amino acids. So lots of good stuff in it. This effects of yerba mate, as I mentioned, energy, without jitters, without anxiety, increase in mental focus and clarity of mind, also lessen fatigue, and diminished feeling of hunger, which is a feature of yerba mate that is helpful in dieting. I actually developed a blend, my own diet tea, and one of the ingredients in it is it's actually yerba mate. Other possible health benefits, there has been more health benefits being discovered when it comes to yerba mate, but of course there's definitely more studies needed to confirm those findings. However, it may enhance physical performance. It may offer protection against bacteria, parasites, and fungus. Apparently, they found it possibly lower blood sugar and also decrease the risk of heart disease. And that's because of the high level of antioxidants. And of course, boost in immune system, mostly because of the high contents of saponins, vitamin C, E, selenium, and zinc. However, like I said, more studies need to be done to confirm these findings. I'm going to move on to terminology, especially for those who want to become a real yerba mate connoisseurs. One of them is amargo. Mate amargo means yerba mate drink without anything added to it, just pure, straight up yerba mate. Cebador, I already mentioned, is the person responsible for brewing yerba mate in a circle to be shared. Mate dolce is a mate with added sweetener, either sugar or honey. Honey goes well with mate, or some other sweetener. And that's especially a good option for mate drinkers, beginners. Guampa. Guampa means mate cup made from a hollowed animal horn. It's pretty interesting. I've seen pictures of those. Mateado. Mateado means a state of clarity and well-being after consuming yerba mate. Let's do that. Mate bliss, mateado. And lavado, as I mentioned before, means watered down, almost tasteless infusion that's in a cup after so many steepings. And then it's either due for a move of the mountain onto the other side of the cup, or it calls for a new fresh yerba mate leaf. Apparently, the way mate is served also has a meaning, sort of like mate language. So you might want to get acquainted with that in case you are offered one of those yerba mates, so you know what that means. Very strong, bitter mate signifies strength and hunger for life. Very hot and sweet means lust and passion. Very sweet, just very sweet, mostly served by women to men, means a love and intention towards marriage. Very hot, like boiling yerba mate, which is like really big no-no. If you offer super hot, scalding hot yerba mate, that means hate. Sorry. Mate and coffee served together means forgiveness. Clogged mate, rejection. Or perhaps it's just having mate not very well prepared. And weak mate means lack of interest in you. Strong mate, opposite, that means the person would like to see you more often. Yerba mate with orange peel is given before the journey for the happy return. So here we go. Apparently, the way mate is served has a meaning. It's telling you something. Isn't it interesting? Okay, so getting towards the end of this presentation, and as you see, Yerba Mate with its rich history, tradition, social meaning is definitely not only just a health unique drink, but it's, as they say, it's a way of life. I hope that through this presentation, I was able to spark interest in you to get to know and start drinking this amazing, healthy herb. Perhaps maybe you would like to start your own mate circle and invite your friends or make new friends. Thank you very much. I appreciate you watching this class. My name is Margaret, and I'm the owner of Blue Monkey Tea Company shop and online business in Pittsburgh. Thank you so much. Stay well. Be happy. Be mateado. The mate bliss, the state of clarity and well-being after consuming yerba mate. Bye now.